Let's talk a little bit about the other side of climate change, which is preparing for the impacts that are coming our way if we don't get this cut greenhouse gas emissions, which is happening slowly in the United States, but not so much around the world. So how can the Bay Area grow in a way that we're not putting more housing, more buildings at risk, Carl Shannon, for sea level rise and the other things that scientists say are coming our way?
It's a challenging question, and I think it's a question that the development community is only beginning to think about. And I think we want to partner with the public officials and the planning officials and people like Gabe's organization to try and think through these issues. We spend a lot more time, honestly, thinking about sustainability from in terms of the materials we use and the transit patterns and sustainability vis-a-vis seismic issues, and have not really wrestled to the ground yet how to deal with sea level change.
Gabe Metcalf, San Francisco the last decades has developed Mission Bay, put billions of dollars of infrastructure, buildings, new university, and yet that is in a flood zone that the maps from various government agencies say will be underwater in a period of time. Is anyone thinking about that down there?
Well, this is a tough issue. Mission Bay will be underwater, but so will downtown San Francisco. And the tragedy, I think, of the Bay Area is we have this beautiful pattern of mostly concentrating the development in the ring around the bay and leaving the hills green, leaving them undeveloped. And it's the Marin Headlands, or it's the East Bay Parks, or it's the San Mateo Hills. And that's our form. The problem is the place where we have built this beautiful city that is increasingly connected, increasingly diverse, is going to be flooded. And I think the question I don't have the answer to is how far out is it reasonable for us to be thinking about? The sea level rise estimates always stop at the year 2100. And I think the question we all have to begin grappling with is, do we want to be building things today that will be usable after that? How far out do we think we want to be making decisions for? The latest science says that the amount of carbon already in the atmosphere, the amount of warming that has already occurred in the oceans, has committed us to 50 feet of sea level rise. So if we stopped driving today all over the world through some dictatorial power, we would still be dealing with 50 feet of sea level rise. Now, that's over a couple hundred years, hopefully, so they think. And the problem is it looks like we're not going to stop driving. It looks like it's going to keep going past 50 feet. And so I think we have to begin to have a conversation about how many generations out can we get ourselves to care about.
People thought they had a few decades to think about this, and then Sandy brought a 13-foot storm surge to Manhattan, affected some Tishman Speyer properties, and people think that, whoa, okay, this is sooner and faster, and so it's really here and now. So, Carl Shannon, I mean, is this really sinking in for, I mean, what was the Sandy impact on your industry and people thinking, okay, wow, maybe this is something we got to think about sooner?
I think it is a wake-up call to our industry. I think we are beginning to grapple with it. It is not a simple thing as an organization that owns a discrete collection of individual buildings to say, okay, this is the sort of global or broader solution to the problem. But I think there is an increased awareness and increased willingness to deal with the issue.